the next Raleigh Fingers?
Well, I would love to have the career he had, so I wouldn't complain about that.
Do you get a lot of people from around the league saying, like, what are you doing? Or are your teammates joking with you, making fun of you at all or anything?
Oh man, at first, I was kind of like, I don't know, I wouldn't say it was a joke, but I was like, hey, what do you guys think? And they're really digging it. And when I was, thinking about maybe getting rid of it for season, like at the end of spring training, they're like, there's no way you can get rid of this. So from that point on, it's just been downhill. And I mean, so I knew I was going to roll with it at least the whole season.
All right, so if a fan or let's say I wanted to grow that mustache, aside from the fact you need the facial hair to do it, how do you get the ends just right? What do you do? Do you super glue it? Do you use a little hair gel? How do you get that just so perfect there on the ends?
Well, I started with just like a generic type wax, like no really brand per se, but I mean, there's a lot of brands out there. I wouldn't even think they'd be in like like a Rite Aid or like places like that, but they definitely have mustache wax, and you just
mustache wax. Is that what it's called? Just for men, mustache wax.
Pretty much. I mean, it starts out, you just put it on and just kind of twist it, and as kind of like some air hits the wax and it gets a little firm, it'll stay for you.
I had to say this too because I've grown beards before. And it's a pain in the ass to care for. Like how much time do you spend, average on a day, just making sure it looks perfect and whatnot? Is it like growing your hair out or growing a beard out?
Oh, it's a pain. Every day just you gotta. After you shower is the worst. Like when you get like per se like a little bit of oils off your skin, and it's like it won't really stay together. But yeah, you got to throw some wax, twist it, and hold it up and whatnot, and then it'll stay from there. And then during the game, if it's windy, it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough day.
Does it affect your curveball?
No, it doesn't.
Fastball, changeup.
No, I try not to touch it during the game, so my fingers are nice and I don't got any wax on them.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did the umpire say, "Hey, Berger, you can't go to the stash before you go to the glove"?
No, I haven't got that yet. But the funny thing is probably half the people when I meet them in public or even at the field, they think it's fake, and it's like, no way, man.
I have to ask you too because you're on the road with your guys, playing and whatnot. Do you ever get any close calls? Guys attempting with some scissors to cut it off.
No attempts, but they'll joke with me and say, "Hey, what if I did this? If you're sleeping or something?" And I'd be like, "There's no way. I might just come at them with some throwing punches."
Got to defend your honor, right?
Definitely. I mean,
well, remember what Crash Davis said: never throw a punch with your pitching hand.
That's right. That is right.
All right, let's talk some baseball. Akron Aeros. Oh, we got to ask you. The Aeros are a pretty good nickname for a team, but the Aeros are actually doing something to where they're picking a brand new nickname for the baseball team. Have you seen the options that fans have to vote on?
I have heard of some of the options, and I hope that they never, ever change the name. That's just me. What do you guys think?
I'm with you. I looked at those options, and I was – how do I put this? I got to be diplomatic about this. I was less than impressed. I think that is how I will – if you're going to change the name, come up with something that's just like that jumps out at you, and nothing that they've come up with really kind of jumps at me. I know they're trying to lean toward the tire industry of Akron Aeros and just call them the Goodyears or something like that. But – yeah. Apparently, the Eric Berger jerseys are not flying off the shelves in the team shop, so they got to change the name. So, do they sell? Can I get Can I get the stash in the team shop? Do they have like the Eric Berger Akron Aeros official fake mustache in the team shop?
You know what? They don't. They've had one mustache tribute night. That's about it, though. I mean, that's about it.
I think you need to talk to someone down there. You got the juice to make that happen, don't you? Come on, you're the big gun for the Akron Aeros.
Yeah, That'd be pretty fun.
You played with Indians made a huge trade a couple weeks back and traded some of your teammates, Alex White and Drew Pomerantz. I know it's part of the business and people get traded all the time, but were you surprised that the Indians organization let one of the best pitchers in the organization go like that for a player?
I was surprised. I mean, I knew it was going to be one. I didn't know it was going to be both. We're getting a good deal, and they're getting a good deal too. So, I mean, we'll just see how the future pans out. I mean, I believe that they both potentially future all-stars in the big league. So, yeah, it was pretty interesting. This is my first year really being around it all and paying attention to it. But yeah, I was like, well, some good guys. And, I mean, Gardner's great. And, imagine McBride in that thin air up there. I mean, who knows?
What was that like, being in the ballpark that night? Just from a media perspective, it was a circus trying to tie all the names together and all that. But, Pomerantz gets scratched and White is like, setting the bubble wrap, so to speak, so nothing happens to him. And just to take us through what that night was like at Canal Park, as the rumors were out there. And then, of course, the Rockies did as I call it, the big a-hole move by starting Jimenez that night. But what was it like in the ballpark with all that stuff going around from a player's perspective, Eric?
It was interesting. I mean, obviously, as a player, when that game starts, it's, this is your work day and, you're trying to get to the big leagues and keep your head in the game. But, man, out of all the games this year, it was the one where, really where your mind was elsewhere, seeing what was going to happen. And, he's going and he's not going. And then it's on hold for a second and then it was on. So, I mean, it was really, waiting, calling like the locker room from the the dugout phone or the bullpen phone, I'm sorry, to see what was going on, because these are our friends and we wish well for everybody, and just to see what was going to happen. It was tough to stay in the game that day, that's for sure.
Were you upset that you weren't included in the deal? Like, wait a minute, what about me? You giving up these guys? I'm good enough to go.
Hey, I'm an Indian, so I play my heart out for Cleveland. If they were to trade me, I would have been playing my heart out for whoever picked me up. So it's just, the ultimate goal is to be in the big leagues, and now I want to be a Indian. So if that changes, then it does.
I'm just teasing you, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
And you're double A. You're 2 steps away from. I'm sure it's your dream to play major league level. How hard at every level is there a dramatic change in talent? Is it I know AAA at Major League Baseball is a huge jump, but every time you move up a level, is it a huge learning curve? They have to basically start over and learn the hitters and learn new techniques and whatnot.
I think the biggest jumps are Double A to Triple A, or from High A to Double A and the Double A to Triple A. I think I've noticed the biggest difference. Not about learning hitters over, but your mistakes will get shown more. If you don't have good arm speed, your pitches will get recognized when the ball comes out of your hand. So you'll think you throw a good pitch, and you can look at the hitter and see right when the ball comes out of your hands, he just kind of is already he's not going to swing, kind of deal. But I haven't played the best in AAA or whatnot. I haven't had too much time there, but I mean, I'm really looking forward to get back. I think out of all my time so far in the system, when it comes to consistently, I feel like lately has been I've felt more prepared than I ever have, per se, So it's just about, getting up there and developing at every level. It could be levels are going to be easy for some guys, and then maybe you hit a wall, but I mean, that's how it goes. It's not supposed to be a walk in the park. That's why there's so many levels to refine your game.
How tough is it in minor league baseball to not only just to work your way up, but just it's not like the major leagues where you got first class plane fare to every city, and there long bus rides. You got to pitch on the same day. You get off the bus and you're expected to perform very well. Just the challenge of being a prospect in an organization and trying to perform at such a high caliber level that you're expected to, or that you have to, if you are to move up the organizational ladder, so to speak? How tough is that?
It's a grind. I mean, it's thank God, when in high school and in college, you kind of get an idea from hearing what people say. Like, you kind of know what you're in for, per se. If you want it bad enough, you're going to do it. And, you got the bus rides and all that. And luckily I can sleep pretty much anywhere. I can almost sleep standing up, I feel like. But, you got to deal with that. And if you can do all that, and obviously they're going to figure out you're mentally strong by going through all that. So it'll give you and everybody in the upper management a good idea that, he can handle this.
All right, we've talked about the stash. We've talked about you on the field. Got to know now, favorite baseball movie?
Ooh, favorite baseball movie? I like For the Love of the Game. That's pretty legit. For a serious one.
All right, all right, of all the baseball movies, what character would you be? Would you consider yourself like a Crash Davis, an Eddie Harris? Willie Mays Hayes, I think, is out. I don't think you can pull off Willie Mays Hayes, but what character would you be?
Obviously, by my style, I mean, it would probably be the Wild Thing, just negative about 10 miles an hour on the fastball.
So you'd be Eddie Harris. You'd be the one,
the crafty guy.
Instead of the Vagisil on the ball, it's a little mustache wax on the ball, right? I'm throwing everything I can at him, Skip.
Definitely.
All right, Eric, appreciate you coming on, buddy, and showing off the stash video Skype, and look forward to covering hopefully, knock on wood, make it to the big leagues for the Indians and being part of the bullpen mafia.
Hey, I look forward to it. Thanks for having me, and shout out to all your fans and listeners. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no
hey,
problem.
Sure thing. Good luck to you, Eric.
Thank you.
That was Eric Berger from the Akron Aeros on.
I threw him a few curveballs.
Yeah, it was good. He was good. You had him curling the mustache. You had him,
Yes.
you had him thinking. I'm sure he plays with that every day. But that's pretty cool. People in the chat room during the interview was saying, you could pull it off. You could pull that stash off, couldn't you?
No.
No?
No, I know. Nope. Can't do it.
I missed saying goodbye to Eric there. And I actually recorded the interview, so